Okay, all right. So welcome our own Reverend Don Lee for our Power Talk.
Good morning, spiritual family. My Power Talk today has a short story and a simple method to change grief and dismay to gratitude. So welcome everyone. I live a short distance from Calgary, which is the city I grew up in. My whole family lives there, and we also have extended family through blended marriages. Recently on November 18th, my cousin's wife, Terry Erickson, lost her step-granddaughter to a head-on collision due to slippery ice on the roads here. Her name was Mahogany, and she was the passenger in the passenger seat at the time, sorry. She was only 17, and she was a member of the Fort Nelson First Nations tribe belonging to Treaty 8. So her roots ran deep, and she was proud to have that heritage. She had aunts and uncles who attended residential schools, and she felt the impact. She never wanted their tragedies to be forgotten. She was proud of where she came from and proud to be Indigenous. Her goal post-graduation from high school was to become a lawyer and represent the Indigenous peoples of Canada. She was a champion swimmer, winning competitions, and people knew her as a real firecracker. Both her mother and father are paramedics with some 20 years experience. When the collision happened, emergency dispatch randomly sent out the call, and it was her own mother who at the time did not know that she was assisting life support to her own daughter in the passenger seat, as her daughter was unrecognizable. After all efforts on the mother's part to sustain life, STARS helicopter ambulance was called and her daughter was airlifted to the hospital. Still unknown to the mother that it was her own daughter she was giving care to. When the hospital was able to confirm identification, they called the mother and gave her the news. Our family and the whole community of Calgary is feeling the impact of this. The mother, along with her husband and the support of several emergency teams, made a televised statement on the news. And the mother's first words were this: I am very grateful that we were able to keep the life-giving, life-supporting organs alive. And they have been donated to save the lives of 2 different individuals. So we are grateful that Mahogany lives on in some special way. Wow. From grief to gratitude. After the service today, I'm having some flowers delivered. And as you can see, it is an emotional time. So, how can we ourselves, how can I and we ourselves be our own first responders to our own life situations? Well, whether they are health challenges, wealth challenges, love challenges, or creative self-expression challenges, how can we handle everyday situations in a world that seems to have gone mad? Well, there is an interesting and simple way that was created by Neville Goddard, the famous metaphysician and New Thought author and mystic, who wrote on the Bible interpretation and is considered to be one of the pioneers of the law of assumption. And he came up with one of the simplest gratitude formulas called NICE. NICE, NICE. I bring this simple technique to you today to share NICE. The N stands for notice. He says, notice your most dominant emotion. And first thing, thank the thought for being there. You can simply say to yourself, oh, thank you for sharing that, but that's not the truth. Next, diffusing the thought. The I in NICE stands for inspect. Take a moment to inspect the subject nature of the conversation that is going on inside your mind and ask this question. Is this serving myself positively? Of course not. So let's get ready for the C in NICE, which stands for change and continue. Change. What is the new conversation and subject going to be about today? And continue with, how can I constantly enrich this conversation with myself? Well, I know one truth, and that is that negative thinking can exist in the same space of my consciousness if I'm feeling the nature of gratitude. And so the E in NICE stands for exit, shooing the negativity out by asking the self, what am I grateful for right now? And it can be anything, even if it's unrelated to what you're going through, until you build momentum to your gratitude list. And after you have reached your long list of gratitude, say this: I declare that I am making my whole day better by doing everything that is life-giving and life-enhancing, and just go do them. And for some of us, keep it a silent maneuver. Just do it with love for yourself. NICE. Notice the thought, inspect it, change and control the thoughts, exit with gratitude and love. In closing, and speaking from a scientific perspective, scientist and metaphysician Bruce Lipton says, a mind expressing gratitude induces the brain to release a barrage of hormones and growth factors into the blood that epigenetically engage a healthy, vital physiology. Additionally, the biochemistry of gratitude activates telomerase, an enzyme that elongates the telomere tips on the DNA, which is a physical process that extends our lifespan. Quantum physics reveals that the universe consists of only one realm, energy. By being engaged in the emotion of gratitude, it is impossible to be hateful, angry, or fearful. So, be nice to yourself every day. Namaste.